Digital transformation strategies in tourism is what we're here to talk about. I already introduced myself. My name is Laura Kagame of Neza. Neza is an experiential holidays company. We have recently branched out into experiential accommodation. I will talk more about that later. So, oh, it's there. Maybe you go down. Yes, so I just want to show you, I wanted to make this as practical as possible. So by practical, I mean, we're going to show you what we have actually done as Neza, what I think some of you could do. You will tell me what you could do based on this, you know. So I'll just take you through a bit of it. So digital marketing is about utilizing digital technology to achieve marketing objectives. When I founded the company, I was determined to do it in a different way, in a simpler way. My vision has just always been to make sure, to ensure that I demystify travel to Ugandans. So by demystifying, I mean a lot of Ugandans think or thought, it's changing, it has really changed, that travel is for those people, like, you know, for people with money, or for a certain caliber of people, or for, you know, I mean, it was so weird. I would meet so many people who, let's say they're working, you know, in a known company in this, and this person is about 40 years old and has just never really moved around Uganda, or even left Uganda, or just never gone on holiday because they just think it's just not for them, you know? So when I say to demystify, it was just to make it look easy, to make it affordable, to make it very accessible. I mean, information very accessible. And the fastest, easiest, most effective way for me to do this was basically to use digital strategies, so a lot of digital marketing, and that's what I'll be talking about. So you can see that the four main tools that we use are WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Google Business. I will discuss each of them. I know, are you shocked that WhatsApp is the most effective? No, it really is the most effective, and I'll explain why. Let's go to this. So basically, when we use these, as it's written down there, we were just basically able to bring our customer acquisition costs to as minimal as possible. So when I say minimal, I mean, if you give an example of the big hybrid generic companies, you find that by the time a customer comes, it's because you've seen something on a billboard or TV and things like this, and it's so expensive. Those, as you would know, it's extremely expensive. So because of using digital marketing, I was able to keep costs very low. Because of keeping costs very low, we're able to charge very competitive pricing. Very, you know, I don't want to say low, but let's just say affordable. So that's how someone will see, we would post, let me say Fort Portal, a trip to Fort Portal of 450,000, and that includes 2 nights, all meals, a trip to here and there, you know, to the Crater Lakes, to so many places, and it would include transport as well, and everyone would get confused. And on top of that, we would actually have, you know, allow them to pay in installments. So it was very affordable, and it was affordable because, mainly because of this, because we used these strategies. So let's go down. So what's up? You know, I'm going to talk a lot about algorithms, right? Now, an algorithm is, should I say, a tool that that helps to, or that enables all these social media platforms to sort, like it sorts through all these. So for example, if I post something on Instagram, and then Kojo Justice, the one who was just speaking earlier, posts something as well, my post, even if I posted it 5 hours later, could still come up on top of his because of certain things, right? So you have to study why certain posts show more than others and things like that. Now, WhatsApp is the most effective and most, let me say just most effective because it doesn't have any rules as of now. Whoever, like on status, if you see my status right now, it's because I was the last one to post on status. Not because some tool decided that Maureen's post was better than Janet's post, and so it will go up. No, so it still doesn't have any rules and things like that. So you're able to push whatever you want to push on WhatsApp. Of course, I keep telling people that bombarding people with promotional material on their WhatsApp can have a negative impact. So you just have to know how to do it. I do it on a weekly basis. That's what I advise, but it's different for every company. But the point is, that's why right now you've seen that a lot of people are using WhatsApp, because there's just nothing monitoring it, no rules, no nothing, unless Maureen decides to block me, you know. But otherwise, there's no hidden tool behind like the rest of the platforms. There's also something called WhatsApp Business. I think you've seen, have you noticed people using WhatsApp Business now? Like where you click on someone's contact and you can see a whole menu there, you know, it's like a whole website right now. So people are using that a lot now. And it's very interesting that people are now using that a lot more than, they will go to that before they even go to our website. So it's certain things like this that are causing disruptions in the market. I mean, I'm not saying websites are going out of fashion. That won't happen. But you notice that then you have to pay attention to certain things. When someone, for example, finds it quicker to go on WhatsApp Business to see, for example, what products you have, where you're located, and everything, as opposed to typing out a website. So that's what I mean, like WhatsApp has come in and it's really disrupting business. And so we've, you know, as Neza, we've tried to catch up with that. I'd like to encourage a lot of you to not be too conservative and to use it more, of course, in a regulated manner, to use WhatsApp Business. A lot of these things may sound really easy, but not many people are using them, and yet they're all free. So I'm going to be here for a while, maybe even after. I'll talk to the organizers. If there's anyone that has questions or wants me to literally, I came with my team, do it for you, even open up accounts or anything like that. I'm very available to help, right? And even, you know, just advice on graphics and things like that. I am willing to do all that. I'm here for, I don't know how many days. How many days are we here? Many. So that's what's up. Let's go to the others. So remember, WhatsApp is 50%. That's a lot. Now, the next is Instagram. Now, Instagram has become quite the sensation, as you know. Like, almost every business has to be on Instagram. My Instagram has become like a whole boutique everything. You're going for a wedding, you want something quickly, it's very easy to scroll through and you will find what you want. So I was just giving a bit of, you know, just some tips here. So there's so many people using these tools, right? Very many people. But not everyone knows how to use them effectively to maximize visibility and everything. So for example, and we also had to just learn this as we went along, if you post low quality pictures, right? Like I said, now, Instagram uses algorithms a lot. So if Instagram notices that your picture is low quality or whatever, so I post a low quality picture of myself at the Crater Lakes, and then Kojo posts a really nice one, like good quality, he's smiling, he's doing I don't know what, his picture is going to come above mine and will stay above there while mine is down here, yet I posted way after him, you know? So you find that that's why many people are investing in good cameras, good angles, good, you know, light here and there. Everyone has become more serious about pictures because it works. If you keep posting low quality pictures, you know, they just won't get seen and you're wasting your time. Another thing is you've seen, you know, let me put it this way. You follow some of the social media influencers, right? You see when some of them do like a video of just, you know, back then, I used to want to show all the details and a post, zoom into everyone, what. But the way the world is, everyone's attention span has just shrunk to a bare minimum, you know? So you find that that's why they'll do very short videos. So what we notice is you're either doing a short video of, I think there we said about 15 seconds, very, very short, or you're doing a long one, where so you've how will I, have you seen like some of these videos of car ride conversations between a husband and a wife, or I don't know what, you know, because it's captivating and it's very relatable, you find yourself watching, and before you know it, you've wasted 1 hour watching this video. but because it's captivating, it's long enough. So we found that you either have to do really like a long video with actual really good content, captivating information, or a really short one. So these are just small tips. Like I said, I'm here for a while. You can ask me anything. Then another thing that we learned that was very interesting. So I could go to one of the crater lakes and take a lovely picture. And then I just say, isn't life wonderful? And you know how people now like posting all these things, live life, I don't know. All these sayings that everyone has become a motivational speaker and full of life quotes, right? Then another person will go and post that and say, having a good time in Fort Portal at one of the crater lakes. And then even use an emoji of like either a water body or a heart sign. You know, my team was telling me I shouldn't say the word love. It's heart sign. And you find that that post, now Instagram, because of these algorithms, is going to go and attach the word lake to the word, you know. So for example, if there's a Maureen who is always posting about things to do, she's by the ocean, she's on the lake, she's this or that, guess what? Instagram is going to make sure that you see those pictures, because then it will attach the word lake to the picture, to the, it's really interesting how that happens. So the other one who was there posting a thing and saying life is wonderful, eat your money, all those things, they don't get seen. Because it's your post, you think it's being seen. It's not being seen at all, you know? So those are some of the things that we found, that, you know, tips that we found very interesting, that when you start to tweak the way you post and everything, you'll just find that you're getting more phone calls for your business, for your tours, for your, I'm trying not to make it only tourism related, but yeah, so, but you get the gist. Yeah? So being intentional about the way you post. And so just, you know, we've gotten, so let me give an example. Let's say if I keep liking Mr. Amos Wekesa's posts, even before I read, I just like, right? The algorithm will think we're best friends. Huh? So every time I post, it will make sure that Mr. Amos reads or sees my post. So the more times you do that. So what I'm trying to say in all this, right, is we've learned that we have to be very deliberate, very intentional, even in the smallest things, because that's what increases your visibility. And something, even if you just pick out one thing, I guarantee you that you will see a huge difference in your following, because all of a sudden more people are seeing your posts, you know? So that's just one of the tips for Instagram. I think here it says we have over 7,500 followers. On Facebook, I think, which we're going to next, right? So on Facebook, we have over 32,000 followers. And I think that's actually the biggest following of any travel company around. And so sometimes when people ask, it's just because of those things that we do. You know, I take digital marketing very seriously. Very seriously. I have a team for that. So all these things that I'm saying, even if they sound very small, put an emoji here, put the word here. It's all these small things that, for example, every time you wake up, you're always seeing this person's post. It's not by mistake. It's because of the way they're posting, you know? So on Facebook, let's see one of the things here that I can pick out. Try and share as many images as possible. So Instagram, let's go back, you know, back to Instagram, something I didn't mention. So obviously, as you know, Instagram is more visual, it's more pictures, right? So in fact, so much so that they only allow, so when you post on Instagram, they only allow one line. But recently they've put 2 lines, because I think they realize they need to just add a bit more content, right? I mean, on Facebook, you're allowed several. You can have a post that's as long as, and people will see it. So it's different markets. There are people that want to read more. Like, I prefer Facebook. I like to read, you know, more than just looking through pictures. That's me personally. So you have to be able to juggle both. And I've found that the type of clientele that we get from Facebook is very different from the type of clientele that we get from Instagram. Totally different. There are people who are on Instagram, there are people who are on, you know, Facebook. So you have to be able to do both. You can't decide you're going to do only one. Well, it depends. If you want to have only a limited share of the market, if you want to have more, then you use all of them. Engagement. So we try, you know, we respond in the shortest time possible. You have to, so because I have a team that is literally constantly, even if I'm not there, there's someone looking. So you have to respond. It's so funny. The algorithm picks out on even companies that are rude. So for example, if, you know how Facebook is. You post a lovely picture of yourself enjoying, what am I, like a game drive or a boat ride, right? And then someone comes below, do you have a job? You've seen how comments can be so random, huh? But no, you just answer, kindly contact this, that. It's watching. Like, so that is called engaging. If you leave those things unanswered, it just picks out that you're just not an engaging, like you're just a bit too robotic. So all those things add up, and then your post won't appear, or it will just disappear after a while. By disappear, I mean it goes below, you know? Whereas another company that is engaging and everything, theirs lasts longer, you know? So yes, so I'm sure some of you already have businesses where you have Facebook. Always reply to those things. Like even if you're rolling your eyes, it's okay. Just go and reply, whatever it is, in a very polite way, and just move on to the next, because they're monitoring engagement. And we get those reports every end of the month, you know? So also things like the best time to post. So we've studied, for example, that people are on their phones or gadgets, mostly in the morning, because either their days have not yet gotten so busy, that's when they're planning their days. So as Travel Neza, we post between 9:30 and 10:30. You'll notice if you post at like 3 p.m., 2 p.m., your post will get like 10 likes. If you post between 9:30, 10:30, try out all these things. You can feel free to WhatsApp me and say, Laura, that didn't work. You know, I'll even want to go and see how and why. So, I mean, it's taken us a while to get to that, to see that when we post at 4, we get 4 likes. When we post at between 9:30 and 10:30, we get that. So it's been quite interesting. So these are the small things that I'm saying that if you learn even just 2 of these things, it will just increase your visibility. Increased visibility means increased sales, which means more revenues, which means you can hire a bigger team and you can grow, you know, bigger. So we can go to the next one. So Google Business. This is one that very many companies don't use. Right now, if you Google, let me stop talking about Travel Neza. Another company. Ultimate what? What's your website? Ultimate Group. That's the name, not cycling. It's Ultimate Group. Yes. If you Google that, right? The website itself won't be the first that comes up. It will be, you know, in the right-hand, is this right? In the right-hand corner, there'll be that Google Business, something that will show a picture, your location, and etc. So the people that ignore that are doing themselves a disservice, because very many people, very weirdly, because they think the website, they'll find too many things and it will take them long to get what they're looking for. Maybe someone is just trying to find a phone number for Travel Neza, right? And they think if I go to the website, I'll have to scroll through so many things. So they click at the top there, or they will look for that top. Now, you have the liberty to go in there and post anything, your location, pictures of the office, anything that you want them to know. It's a shortcut, right? And you just do this by going to www.googlebusiness.com. So that's one thing. When we look at our stats, we've actually gotten quite a number of business from people clicking here and calling us, or just appearing at the office. Our office is in Kisamenti. It's quite central, but it's behind certain things. Like, so someone always has to call and ask, right? But now with this, with directions, because then it also enables you to be on Google Maps. So people just get there very easily. That's good for any business, any, you know, guest house, boutique, saloon, you know, tour business, anything. So I just thought I'd mention that. Let's go down. So then I thought I'd talk about future trends. So some of the future trends that we're looking at, one of them is we started Travel Neza TV. One of the reasons why we did this is we started producing our own authentic content. I mean, we've moved around the country a lot and getting creative with the way we capture videos and all this stuff, right? The internet has gotten so much smarter these days. Facebook, Instagram, etc. They can tell when you know these posts, like a video that you that you can get from somewhere else, maybe some travel company in Asia. When you post that, trust me, you're the only one going to see it. Maybe like 10 others. As long as they see that this has been plagiarized, gotten from other websites, basically copied it from somewhere, it doesn't move. Me, who has posted myself walking on the road in Maxon Falls, however boring that is, my video will actually show, will have more visibility than the one that you've copied, even if it's of a guy jumping from which peak to which peak, you know? So with Travel Neza TV, it's been, do you want to show that? I wanted to show you just something small. Working? No? It's complicated. Yeah. It's our Fort Portal. That's okay. So I'm sure you recognized a lot of Fort Portal in there. So we love Fort Portal. But anyway, so that was, that's all the way from Windy. I think you saw the Batwa to Maxon Falls, Queen Elizabeth. Now that's my team. That's the Travel Neza team. And you can see that it's not perfect. It's not National Geographic type, but it is authentic. We did it ourselves with a drone and a photographer called Buscago that we work with. So what I'm trying to say is we need to be investing in more authentic content like this. When we posted this, it went, Lincoln, how many views did we get? 5,000. We got about 5,000. So it was actually good, and very many people shared it on WhatsApp. And so I'm just trying to say that a lot of this is achievable. So you invest in content, learn how to do these things. So that's Travel Neza TV. We're currently working on a very simple app called Travel Buddy. So remember, we're talking about future trends and how we're using digital technology to increase sales, increase visibility. So Travel Buddy will be out next month. I noticed that very many people were not traveling because they didn't have people to travel with, right? So you've seen how very many single travelers, right, are joining these set groups, because now at least they can go they can go guerrilla tracking with a group of people, instead of waiting for their friends to get leave, to stop having babies, you can't wait for people that long. So with this app, you can actually, what will happen is, let's say I'm in Fort Portal and I want to go on a tour, but I don't want to go alone. You know, I'd rather have someone to sit in the boat with, to view all these beautiful craters with, to go to Amagberg, Nyinamiru. So you'd be able to just type in. So people obviously register on the app, and you'd be able to type in, and you can see. So once you put in your details, you're in Fort Portal, this or that, you will get links on the app of like other single travelers that are in the area, you know? And so instead of going on a tour by yourself, you actually have someone that you can go with, and we'll be adding more things to that, you know? So this is just, remember what I said, making travel more affordable, more accessible, more exciting, and just making everyone realize that they can go on holiday, you know? Even if it's just the neighboring town, it doesn't have to be all the way to Dubai, just within Uganda. Yeah, so employing stuff, active on social media. So I find that a mistake that startups make is thinking, me as the founder, I can post everything. I can, you know, what is this? Just Facebook, just put a picture. After everything I've described, I think you've seen that there's a lot of science that goes into that. And you can't physically be there to do it consistently. I travel a lot. You know, I'm not awake 24/7. However, I have a team that's very dedicated to this. So for me, a startup, the way you have a receptionist, the way you have the travel consultant, you should have a digital media person, someone working on social media, someone doing that. If you do that, your growth will literally double, triple, and I'm saying this from experience. What would have taken us 5 years, we did in a year, literally, just because of a lot of these strategies. Now, I had to make it shorter, otherwise I would really bore the hell out of you. There's just so much and so many other videos I could show you. Preparation, you know, just also showing you how seriously we take digital marketing, or how seriously you should take digital marketing in your businesses. Hire full-time graphics designer. You know, in the businesses that you're doing, or when you do start, those who haven't started, you know, try these flyers that you see people putting out, 2 nights this or that. It can take a long time to get that if you don't have someone working with you, or a good relationship with a graphics designer. So we have a graphics designer, we have a full-time social media manager. So I'm just saying that the 32,000 followers and the many followers on Instagram doesn't happen by mistake. We're very deliberate about it. You know, full-time travel consultant, that goes without saying, but that means that obviously we're able to respond to queries on social media immediately. And you can test this. You know, send a message on Travel Neza after this and see how fast it will take. Then you'll be like, Laura, what did you see? Try. So purchase a phone with a good camera. I also learned this the hard way. I used to say, a phone, I would always just have the simplest. Now, having a simple camera phone actually costs me a lot more, you know, so I had to invest in one with a good camera, not for showing off, but because of work. Yeah, so it's just, you know, some of the things that, you know, something I haven't mentioned actually is in the middle there, an experienced manager. This is one of the most vital people on my team, you know. An experienced manager, for example, I could never send a group anywhere. For me, a group is like, let's say 10 and more, without an experienced manager. So I don't mean just someone who's going to make sure they get there, make sure they've had dinner, they've checked into their rooms. No. This person that's going to make sure that at the campfire that evening people are telling stories, make them play games, make them, you know, notice that person that's a bit quiet. What would they rather do? Would they rather go on a walk somewhere? Would they, you know, someone to keep looking out for all this. There's a picture we wanted to show. Is it next? Look at that. That is my experienced manager. He's on the floor. Can you see? Taking a picture of that lady. As in, we'll go over and beyond. You know, those are some of the things. Because guess what? If you're that person, making sure that everyone has very good pictures, they're all going to post that. They won't die in their gallery. Huh? They will post all those pictures. That means you go viral. That means you... Whereas he could have just been standing there. As long as they're all alive and enjoying, the boat is moving, what more do you have to do? But instead, he'll walk around saying, would you like a picture? Can I do this for you? You know, those kind of things. We've found when we started doing this, our referral rates, you know, skyrocketed. Everyone is sharing. So then guess what? When you do this, your clients are actually doing the marketing for you, because then they're just posting and they're tagging you, and so you don't even have to go on Monday and say, oh, we had a travel Neza group to Fort Portal, they did this. No, because all those people have talked about their whole experience on their own while tagging, you know? So that's just an example of like how an experience manager ties into digital strategies, because people will post and everything. Let's go up. Stakeholders. Now, I've posted that particular picture because a lot of these beautiful pictures really, places really frustrate me, you know? I'll use examples of places like one of my favorite, I don't want to say favorite, Uganda is my favorite, but there's like other places, like South Africa and Bali in Indonesia. You could never find a place like this that doesn't have, you've seen those frame thingies that will say, I love Fort Portal. I love this Crater Lake. You know, I love, now in South Africa it will be, I love the waterfront. You know, when you look at a frame like this, there's no way that you could walk past it. You will stand and ask someone to take a picture. Remember, every time, so what happens is countries that have a lot of these beautiful frames or what did we call it? Captivating photo shoot areas, basically, a place where you stop and take a picture. So if you go and Google South Africa, what you will look at is so many tourists posting, I love South Africa. They're in those frames. I love waterfront. I love this. They make you stop and take a picture. In Bali is one of my favorite destinations. It just has, I love Bali everywhere, you know? And so what does that do? It makes that country, that city go viral. All the pictures are going viral, which ties into the whole digital transformation. You're all staring at me like, is there something you want to say? I should finish? No? Yes, so lobby. So now, that's why I put tour operators. I feel like we should, I don't know if anyone is doing it, I've been planning to do it, to lobby for these captivating photo shoot areas to be put in the parks or tourism hotspots for viral imagery. I've explained that. Then lobby for more seasonal reductions on entry fees. Did you see when they did the 50% off park entrance, and now everyone is traveling and everyone is noticing, everyone is posting pictures, and then people say, hey, domestic tourism is working. No, it's not because the airport was closed and people couldn't go anywhere. It was just because now they had made it, you know, more for, so seasonal. When I say seasonal, I mean just pick 2 months of the year to do that and have the people that wouldn't ordinarily afford to go to a national park, get to go. And they will post pictures. Now, remember, the more pictures they post, the more viral Uganda goes, the more the rest of the world sees these pictures. I mean, if you just Google, Kenya, Tanzania, etc., they're just way more visible than we are because there's just more people posting pictures. That's just what it is. So, there's a question there, what can be constructed at the Twin Crater Lakes? That would be for you guys to think about. You can do it as the kingdom. You don't have to wait for government. But Fort Portal should be the first one to start all that because you have so many beautiful places. Traveler's role, so still that ties into digital transformation. Even the traveler has changed. We now, take way more pictures. But one of the things that we've seen, by the way, we're actually looking at our statistics when we're driving here, and we realize that about 70% of our clients, customers, do not actually come to the office. They see a package, they like it, they interact with us online. We conclude, we send our MomoPay number, or we just send them a link. Did you do the link? We just send them a link that they go to. And, now we use PesaPal. So just with that, in literally 3 steps, you can have paid by Visa or mobile money, etc. It's just so many people are now doing that, which is very convenient. Now, this is all part of digital transformation because if you have that, if you have ways, if you have MomoPay and you have ways for people to pay without actually having to come to your office, guess what? You'll find that only 20% are coming to your office. So do you know what this means? You don't have to be on is there a high street here? You don't have to be on the main street, right? You can now go to the more affordable, you can get more affordable rent, right? And then concentrate on making sure that you're visible online. That someone can just see your package, book it there without having to come to the office. That makes you save money. you know, that you can then spend on other things, salaries, etc. You know, so that's one thing that we found. So we actually, like right now, we could decide to go further into, like we don't have to be in Kisementi where we are in maybe a year's time if we continue doing this, because then we'll find that no one has the need to come. Everything is online, and we can finish the transactions there. Let's continue. So I'll just, so my closing remarks here. So the digital market has immense opportunities, like I have been explaining, to revolutionize how potential tourists access information and select their preferred choice. So let's invest in digital content. The future is bright for our industry. So my challenge to you would just be to, you know, pick out just a few of these things. I can share the presentation with you. I can help in whichever way. Yeah, so any questions? Thank you very much for listening. Hangire zo mukuma funzi